Hey everybody, welcome back to another 10-minute Marvel video. I'm Petter, and today continuing that Agatha All Along talk, and I want to talk about the Witch's Road and the couple of twists and turns about the Witch's Road. If you have not watched all of Agatha All Along, there are going to be spoilers ahead, and there's no way to talk about it without them. So, you've been warned. If you're still here now, I'm assuming that you are up to date or you don't care about spoilers. But let's talk first about the legend of the road. This idea of it's a song that I'm assuming there was an element of it that was a folk song or something like that, that Agatha taught to her son Nicholas Scratch. They used it to grift people, they used it to entertain themselves and create more lines, or like sing lines back and forth to each other as they walked along their way. And there is no real Witch's Road. So I think that's an interesting element that the show did, because I talk about this in how does it compare to the comics or pull from the comics. In the comics, there is a real Witch's Road, and the Scarlet Witch with the Ghost of Agatha walk on it. But in this case, there isn't one. It is a legend. It is something that was created by Agatha and then exploited, this legend by Agatha, to drain witches of their powers, to gain power, more power for herself. And I do like the fact that her spiel about the road that we see in episode 2, where it's like, well, the door's normally here by now. Like, you must not be very good witches. Basically, to get people to blast her with their powers and drain their powers is what she's always done. But obviously, the show has them on the Witch's Road. It has them going through trials. And it's revealed that Wiccan is the one who created it. And each trial parallels elements found within his room, found within kind of his mind. It has a very unusual suspects, Kaiser Sose feel to it, where at the end of that movie, I'm not saying spoilers. I'm saying spoilers for the movie. I don't care. I'm spoiling it. The whole thing is kind of is shown to be like the detective was interviewing Kaiser Sose, and the whole story, everything that was being created, was based off of stuff on the table, on the desk, on bulletin board. It was all this elaborate fiction kind of put together on the fly. That is certainly an element of what the Witch's Road was in this, because it is something that doesn't exist. But also, Wiccan has the powers to make it exist. It's like Agatha's hex in some ways, where reality warped. And that's the case as well for the Witch's Road. Now, this is a big shift. And the question is this a good shift? First off, I think the concept of the Witch's Road is a fascinating one. I like it as a thematic setting that you can go to in particular or specifically for witches. And in the comics, obviously, because it's a real thing in the world of the comics, that it's something they can decide to revisit. However, in terms of comic lore, it's not a consistent comic element. It isn't something that witches regularly within Marvel Comics walk the witch's road. It's been done, I believe, once in the comics with the Scarlet Witch and Agatha as her spirit guide kind of walk. That's the only time it's been done in the comics. Like I said, to my knowledge, there's a chance I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure I'm right on that one. And for that, I like the idea that they can take something that feels special, that feels unique from the comics, and create their own thing. At the same time, I do feel like the twist is a bit of a letdown. I'd love, in some ways, to have found out that the Witch's Road was in fact real, but that the most powerful witch can, like, unconsciously control it. And, like, that's the reason why it matched so much with what Billy can do, or Billy's room, with Wiccan's room. And that would have, I think, been a unique take on it as well, and helped provide some of the same story elements that we got from how they told it, which is Agatha was able to figure it out that, okay, maybe this is the son of the Scarlet Witch. Not because, like, he had the power to create what he thought the Witch's Road was, but that he was the most powerful witch, more powerful than a 450-year-old witch. And he was shaping everything into his own image. But I do like how they laid the clues and the groundwork for this. The timing of when the door appears. The fact that the teen is always the one who figures out how to kick off the trial. I think that that's something that's a nice tell for it. And then in episode 7 is when kind of that suspicion of, or 6, excuse me, is when the suspicion of, okay, this might be from his, he might have created it based off of what we saw in his room in the flashback, because of the Lorna Wu poster in particular that was so obvious. And his previous interaction with the other witches, it definitely seemed like it could be leading that direction, though it wasn't a theory that I loved at that point. And even in the execution of it, it's something that I think they executed really well, but with that execution of it, it isn't something that I love. I'd love to leave the Witch's Road as something that could be walked again. But let me know your thoughts on how they handled the Witch's Road and the twists with the Witch's Road in the creation of it and the legend of it. Did you enjoy that? Let me know that down in the comment section below. I think I already said that. If you enjoyed this content, please give the video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and click that notification bell to know when new videos are coming out. There are videos coming out basically every weekday as I do them on rumors, news. Obviously, Agatha All Along has just wrapped up, so won't have big dumps of videos like every Thursday we've had for a little bit. But there's going to be plenty of videos coming out on what if when that comes up as well. And if you want our full thoughts on Agatha All Along, join us for the 10-Minute Marvel podcast. It comes out towards the start of every week, and you can find it here on YouTube. Click on the channel and then the podcast tab, or you can get it wherever you get your friendly neighborhood podcasts from. But with that, we'll see you next time.